PokeNexus, previously known as Pokemon Planet, is one of those games that will forever be timeless. While currently there are, of course, other MMOs that tend to triumph or talked about more than PokeNexus, no matter how many times I've left this community and came back, it has always been a nostalgic part of my life. I played this game often when I was 12, turning 13 years old, and I'd come back to the game back and forth since then, and I'm 20 now. Now, if you're considering playing PokeNexus for yourself, go into it knowing that it is an MMO, so it is a lot grindier than your standard Pokemon game. This is not to discourage you, but this is rather to be aware that you will spend a lot of time trying to get what you want in this game. PokeNexus being an MMO, it's meant to be one of those games that you can play for literal years at a time. Now, this game honestly has a lot of criticism about it because of the apparent lack of updates in prior years. Way before the Godot update was even announced, I had told my friends that I felt like the devs were cooking something mean, and everybody thought I was crazy. And you know, I don't blame them, but I held out hope, and my hope was right. Especially, they were critical because of the long-awaited Kalos region never coming to the game yet, as of recording this at least. With the first beta being projected to be in late 2025, we really don't have that much time left before we do indeed see what they have been cooking. And with the full release being projected about a year from now, in late 2026, I am really excited to see what direction this game is taking us in, when it does eventually port over to the Godot engine. The endgame for PokeNexus is either focusing on the economy or focusing on PvP. And if Pokemon battles or becoming a mega millionaire is something that interests you, I would say give PokeNexus a try. Though honestly, the game actually starts after you defeat the Cancer region, because then you'll be able to find elite Pokemon as well as encounter shiny Pokemon after defeating the Kanto Elite Four. For someone who's never played games like PokeNexus, I would closely relate elite Pokemon to alpha Pokemon from Legends Arceus. I feel like that's the closest mainline synonym I can give for it, because these Pokemon are stronger, hit harder, and will give you a special drop, or be stronger buffed from catching them, but they will be harder to catch. Although there have not been very many huge content updates, and if you'd like to see what has been the biggest changes within the last few years, if you're coming back to the game yourself, I will link Super Andrew's video down below. Other than me being somewhat critical of how they handle moderation, my biggest gripe with the game, as well as many others, has been how they handle updates and not always alerting the community before they happen or giving the community a say in when they happen. For example, changing the drop rate of Easter eggs, changing the drop rate of event currency. For many, like myself, that have played prior events, event currency was a fixed rate dropped from rares and higher. And now it isn't, and that change in itself really just shook the community, because it came seemingly out of nowhere. I strongly believe the devs should have a more hands-on type of approach when it comes to big changes, especially regarding events, seasonal events, yearly events, etc. And even small things too, or PvP related things, because having the community more involved not only reassures that they're being listened to and cared about, it also helps retain the player base. All in all, if you do enjoy grinding games, PokeNexus is a game that I do recommend, but it also is not everyone's cup of tea, and that is also okay. I'm not gonna sit here and just glaze the absolute living hell out of it and not give criticism. For the new players, botting, macros, auto-clickers, they are not allowed. It's stated in the rules of the game. Also, when you first log into the game, every time you log into the game, it's stated that it's not allowed against the rules. And I know this is very confusing for a lot of players, especially because there's been a very prevalent issue of streamers and content creators making videos either how to bot or micro, or also having tutorials on YouTube and stuff on how to do this. It's just not a thing that's allowed. And this game has an issue with moderating that, because it just defeats the purpose of it being a grindy game in general, and puts people miles ahead if you just use bots and stuff, versus people who actually spend time to grind out resources and Pokemon, etc. And with having streamers and content creators ignore that and put tutorials and stuff, or macros and botting, etc., especially for mining and drop encounters, it's just a mess. While I do recommend the game if you like a grindy experience, it would not be just of me to say that it does not have some controversies regarding moderation and how they handle bans and how they handle dishing out discipline to people. While I do enjoy this game, and I am excited for the future within the Godot engine, I feel like there are just some things I hope will be fixed and changed in the future as Godot rolls out. That being said, I have played a plethora of other Pokemon MMOs, Pokemon fan games, Pokemon ROM hacks, and other Monster Tamer content, but the nostalgia just hits home with this game. I'm planning to record a few more commentary videos like this. Maybe in the future I'll get a few of my buddies on the mic. We'll see what happens. But most of the content that I wanted to do on this game revolves around compilations or funny clips that I wanted to do. For example, tournaments, catching compilations, reactions to if I get 31 IVs, etc. IV resetting compilations, hunting compilations, special encounter compilations, tournament compilations, be it if I win or lose. There are a handful of YouTubers who are doing guides on the game, and I think focusing mostly on what I had just listed prior is what I would feel most fun doing and feel like I can do more consistently. Not only for PokeNexus, but other Pokemon MMOs or Monster Tamers or games that I play in general, and it'll be easier for me to push out content, be it short or long formed. Until next time, and thank you for listening to my voice.